right, Tuesday morning, we have been off to a pretty messy start. How was your commute in this morning?
It was terrible. There's a wreck on 281, and it's right where you go around Trinity University and by Alamo Stadium. Always a wreck there when it rains for the first time. It's like they go out and all the rain greases up the highway right there.
It does. And
that big 60-mile-an-hour speed limit sign.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knows that exists.
You know, we're going to take a look at the roadways here in just a moment, but
this is,
still a problem out there.
Obviously, this is the biggest rain event we've had in, months, seems like?
Justin Horn's here to tell us more.
Yeah, it's the most rain we've seen this year, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And
there we go.
Look at that.
Yes, it's been a good rain event for us, and that's what we like to see. But yeah, the roads were definitely set this morning. We were watching a tornado warning earlier. I've got good news here. This has been allowed to expire, this tornado warning we have for Lavaca County. Okay, so this is moving out. This is moving away from our viewing area towards Houston's viewing area, where there will likely be some more severe weather today. What you're noticing here around San Antonio, though, we still have some spotty showers. These are starting to come to an end. First, though, I'm going to zoom in on Hallettsville. And yeah, this warning should be expiring here very soon, if not, it probably has already. But this is moving east down 90. Still some good rain, though, around Shiner down towards Cuero. Cuero got hit pretty hard earlier. And we did get some reports of hail coming out of Yoakum with these storms, some sizable hail, in fact. And then as you get back towards Seguin and Gonzales, we've had some good rain this morning. The good rain is what we want. We don't want the severe weather, but it has been so nice to see the rain here around San Antonio. And you see the pockets of rain that are still working through, but back edge of this, that's it. Once this moves through, we are done. We are done with the rain. Clouds stick around for a while longer, but as we get into the afternoon, the sun pops out. And we'll be looking at some mild temperatures. There is a new tornado watch that has been issued for our southeastern counties. So Victoria, Goliad, Beeville, these are areas where we still could see some severe storms later today. Columbus, El Campo over towards Houston, really along the Texas coast. Not necessarily in our viewing area, but we will keep an eye on the radar well east of San Antonio here next couple of hours as this sort of progresses. Take a look at the observed rainfall. We've had over an inch in several spots, including Gonzales, Sutherland Springs, Seguin. The airport, though, 33/100ths of an inch. San Antonio somehow missed out on the bulk of the really good rainfall this morning. It's just how it's gone for the better part of a year. Fair Oaks Ranch, though, 1.67. Medina Lake, about 1/2 inch. That's not near enough to do anything for Medina Lake. Timberwood Park, close to an inch in some cases. So good to see the rain, not enough. Did want to show you some pictures coming in on KSAT Connect, and I didn't pull it up, but what I can show you is we're getting some good pictures in coming out of the rainfall. Send them in. Show us your rain gauge. Show us what you received at your house, and we'll report that. Always good to see the pictures, and we appreciate anything that you can submit there on our KSAT Connect throughout the afternoon as things are winding down. I know you guys are going to show TransGuide here in just a second, but those are some of the views there. What's going on our roadways, and there's wet roads. This is the scene over the airport, and right now we're looking at 50 degrees, north-northwesterly winds at 14, and that's going to be the other side to all this. We're going to get some gusty winds on the rear of this storm as it continues to push east. So by midday, there's some of the activity moving towards Hallettsville, Cuero, Victoria, and then we get some of the breaks in those clouds starting to work their way towards San Antonio, and then it'll become more sunny as we head into the afternoon, 2 p.m. to say 4 p.m. Sun will be out, but it'll be windy at this point. We'll start to see those gusts really kick up. I'd say 35 miles per hour, pretty common with these northwesterly winds that will kick in behind the system, and you could even see some stronger gusts in spots. So just prepare for those very strong winds. Those winds, by the way, do die down tonight. Here's a look at those winds. This is 6 o'clock, gusts 25, maybe even 35 miles per hour, curve on Bernie. So that's what we're watching. The winds do die down some tonight, and by tomorrow morning, it'll be downright cold. I think we'll have lows in the 30s by tomorrow morning. So the KSAT 12-hour forecast, here comes the sun around 2 o'clock. Isn't that a Beatles song? Here comes the sun?
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, I was waiting.
All right.
Well, I have to look that up. I forgot who did it. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Hey, you go ahead and finish.
Yeah, we're well in the 40s by 10 o'clock and midnight. There's the severe weather risk. We talked about that tornado watch box. It aligns with where we expect the severe weather to be there along the coast. Not necessarily here in San Antonio, but folks to the south and east. Extended forecast 58 tomorrow, 57 Thursday, 58 Friday. We do get another shot at some rain coming up on Saturday. But overall, it's going to be a cool week. Highs will be in the 50s. That's actually below average. after we had basically above average temperatures all in January.
Every Thursday we get the drought monitor.
Yeah.
And we're the bullseye, right
Yep.
over San Antonio, Bexar
Yep.
County, Comal County.
Yep.
Any chance that color changes? The darkest red
Very.
that you can,
Very little.
very low.
very
I
little
don't
enough.
think this is enough rain. It's a start,
Okay.
but it's not enough. We needed to see like an inch and a half, 2 inches plus. Didn't get it.
Wow.
Somehow San Antonio avoided those big numbers again. We were surrounded.
They just do.
I don't know how that's worked, but I'm glad for the folks in Seguin and
Yeah.
Forestville that did get some pretty good numbers this morning.
Maybe the good thing is here is when we talk about the rain, and we talked about this earlier during the streamcast, is that it wipes off some of the dirt that's built up on the roadways, the grime. So obviously that's a good thing, but it's made the roads a little treacherous. And now I think we're going to get a look at TransGuide. Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
Take a look at all those droplets out there. 281 at Encino Rio. You know, David, I've been doing traffic since 4:30 this morning. We have a number of incidents that we talked about during GMSA, and you can see 90 at Couples. It's not bad right now, but the roads are still wet, and according to TxDOT, there are still a few crashes that are out there right now, and I think that that's what you can expect, because what happens is the roads get slippery when the rain does wash away some of that dirt and grime that's built up over time. So that's why we've seen a few accidents this morning, and unfortunately, that still seems to be the case right now. There's 410 at State Highway 151, but you mentioned your commute on 281. You saw a crash. I'm assuming it was you said right around Trinity, right?
Right around where you if you're going down 281, the first big curve around Trinity, around the Alamo Stadium.
Yes,
right there.
yeah, that's a big problem spot. You have to slow down before you get to that curve.
Right there.
Yeah.
I think incarnate words on both sides of it. There's the walkover bridge right there.
Yeah, oh man.
Seems like a natural spot.
And there were 2 crashes reported there today, I can tell you that. So it has
Both on the south side?
southbound lanes, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Well, now
People forget.
Hey, you know what? Let's move on to some news.
Let's move on to something fun. All right, we're going to talk about San Antonio.
Of course we
What
are.
better subject can we have than just talking about San Antonio?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, San Antonio is known for a lot of things. Some crashes, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
a lot
we'll
of
talk
things
about
from Big Red and barbacoa tacos to wild nights at Fiesta. Ooh,
Well, I remember if you have
yeah.
to take a look at that, but of course traffic. But what do you think when you hear the phrase Puro San Antonio, a term often used to describe things that only happen in our city? Well, a Reddit thread asked natives and transplants alike what puro means to them.
User Hike the Sky said, actually, it's when your left turn signal is on, you are in the phone. You're on the phone and you cut off 3 lanes to get to the exit on the right because you already missed but don't want to do the 5-minute detour.
Puro
We've
San
been talking
Antonio.
about that this morning.
right,
A little
well-
bit of that. Yeah, use your blinker.
Yeah, another one says it basically can mean uniqueness, like saying it only happens in San Antonio. Then you could say like Puro San Antonio, which is like saying only in San Antonio.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Big
can see
cities, small town vibes. Ever noticed how a stranger you just met knows the same person you do in San Antonio? Community is what brings this city together. And wow, it's amazing. It's a small world in San Antonio.
But, so obvious city residents have a love-hate relationship with the term. Either way, recognizing what identifies the good and the bad of San Antonio makes us endearingly care for it. So, I mean, I don't use that phrase. I'm from the Valley. We say Puro 956.
Yeah.
That's Puro 956.
But when I hear that phrase, I think of pure San Antonio. That's what it reminds me. It's pure San Antonio, and there's nothing like it
You know what?
anywhere else in the world.
You're right, because it's San Antonio.
Because it's San
right
Antonio.
here in the Alamo City. But yeah, in the Valley, we would say it's Puro 956, but it doesn't ring the way it does
No.
here in San Antonio. I gotta say, sorry to my Valley folks. But
And there's just so many things that are unique to this city that you will not find anywhere else. And I just point out the river.
yeah, 100%.
And the parades that we have on the river, you can't find that anywhere else. I mean, I know there's some foreign countries they talk about. No, there's just, and when you have an NBA championship,
Oh, yeah.
river parade, nothing like it.
Yeah, we got to get back to those
Yeah,
days, right?
that'd be nice. But I mean, it's just such a unique city.
Yeah.
There's so much culture. There's so much art. There's so much different stuff about San Antonio. And more than likely, if you say so and so's name, somebody else is going to know them somewhere down the road. So that's what's great about it.
Puro San Antonio.
Love it. Exactly.
All right, let's move right along to our next story. We're going to be talking about Governor Greg Abbott he had a big speech. Texas Governor Greg Abbott headed to San Antonio today. He will be part of the renaming ceremony for the Tech Port Center at Port San Antonio.
See, this is why San Antonio is so great, because we keep coming up with this stuff. The Techport Center broke ground just before COVID hit. It has become one of the most popular venues for science and technology, and for smaller events like some big-time concerts and smaller events and some esports events. It holds, the arena over there holds about 3,000 people, so it's perfect for that intimate setting.
Oh, that's intimate, yes.
Yeah.
But it really is. It is 130,000 square feet of one of the most technologically advanced centers in the country. The port will be announcing a new partnership designed to increase science and technology educational opportunities for students around San Antonio.
So Governor Greg Abbott is going to be here. He's going to be speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony for this new partnership. And also Mayor Ron Nuremberg is going to be there, along with some other dignitaries.
Yeah, and by the way, the arena's first concert to host, the Smashing Pumpkins in May of 2022. Incubus is coming next Thursday. I'm sensing a theme here. We're going to be live streaming the event starting at 1:30. So.
And you know what? One of the questions is going to be for Governor Abbott after they talk about how great this arena is.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, they're going to ask him about the tweet, about the
about that tweet.
Somebody better ask him about that tweet.
I thought that was when I saw it this morning, the next morning I was like, what's this? Yeah. But that definitely stirred up a conversation on social media.
Ask him. So, somebody better ask him.
Sure, we'll have a reporter out there.
Need me to go down.
Yeah, you asked a tough question, David. Serious.
What was that tweet? You trying to be funny? But you serious?
Did it land for you?
Yeah, I did. I don't think, some people liked it. Some people thought it was funny. Some people got the sense of humor behind it. Some people were offended by it. But that's what happens when you post something on social media.
But sports is meant to be fun, so I think it's all in good fun, right?
But, yeah, some people take way too serious. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that's good that we've got this arena.
We do.
New partnership, more technology, smarter students, and we've also got something going on downtown. The Hemisfair revealed a look at the planned 17-story hotel that's going to open up January of 2025. We're excited about this.
Yeah, the San Antonio City Council approved changes for the $340 million for a development agreement at the downtown site for the 1968 World's Fair. Wow.
Well, everybody knows I'm old. I was there. I came to San Antonio for the World's Fair. I did not live here at the time. My mother brought me down here for the World's Fair. So that I love Hemisfair. The hotel is expected to have over 200 rooms and be located at 222 South Alamo Street. It's going to overlook the Civic Park project by the Hemisfair Park Redevelopment Corporation.
Wow. Civic Park will be big enough for 10,000 people, have water springs and a connecting walkway. And these renderings, looks pretty fantastic. Looks like that's where it should always have been,
Yep. Hemisphere submitted plans and designs to the Historic Design Review Commission. So it's going to be awesome. Yeah, 1968.
Yeah. So your mom brought you here.
Mom brought me here.
Was that your first time here?
First time to San Antonio. My mom had a friend down here. My brother and my dad was in Vietnam. We could just talk forever. My dad was in Vietnam, and so we lived at Dallas where her family was. My brother and sister went to a summer camp. My mom said, let's leave town, so we came down to the Hemisphere.
So like a mother and son trip? That's great. Those are like the best memories,
fun times. And you have to go look in some of the history of San Antonio and get some of the pictures. That sky ride we've seen recently in the last couple of years, we've done stories on how some of the little cable car things that they had that you went in the sky ride on.
I've seen those.
Some of those still exist.
That's
and
crazy.
You just go look at some of those pictures. They had the monorail that went around.
Yeah.
But it was just, and they built the Hemisphere Tower for it.
That's what's great. San Antonio's got a rich history like that here. Lots to appreciate. It's very puro San Antonio.
There you go. You got that.
Nice.
Oh,
still on the theme of that.
Nice.
Hey, we are talking about a new hotel and park opening soon in San Antonio, but what about our parks that are over a century old? Well, the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department has celebrates 100 years in 2023 by releasing vintage photos.
I remember back in 1923. No, I don't remember. It's not there then. That's when Texas Governor Pat Neff persuaded the state legislature to create the State Parks Board. We only had the Fish and Oyster Commission to regulate fishing.
Yeah, it was the first state park board's task to search for places where people can camp.
According to the Texas State Library and Archives Commission, Neff said creating the board was his most important achievement as governor.
Yeah, in 1963, the State Parks Board merged with the Game and Fish Commission to become the Texas Department of Wildlife. Wow, some rich history. These are fantastic photos.
Now look at those. Got that armadillo. Since 100 years, Governor Neff's goal created 89 state parks spanning more than 630,000 acres.
Wow, that's some land there, right?
Yeah.
Hey, well, some state parks near San Antonio are Government Canyon, Lost Maples, and Honey Creek. That's fantastic. I mean, the parks here are just phenomenal. I think we, really do sense this thing with this KSAT News Now show. We've been talking about special things here in San Antonio. I mean, the parks are definitely a great place for recreation and gathering.
The weather folks are always talking about Lost Maples.
They are.
In the fall when the leaves turn. So it's one of the most beautiful places in the state. So,
well, I love that.
And it's just down the road. So
it's not too far.
Another reason why San Antonio and South Texas are such unique places.
There's a theme going on here today, right?
Yeah. So.
Hey, well, whether it's San Antonio or, hey, it could be a trip to Pandora or Wakanda, or, hey, it could be everything everywhere all at once. The Oscar nominations are out. Let's see if we can go ahead and scroll the prompter a little bit, guys. And we know that films dominated 22, but only one can take home the coveted prize as Best Picture of the Year.
Oscar nominations are in, and this year's top contenders include some big box office hits like Avatar, stunner, The Way of Water, Black Panther, Wakanda, Forever, and Top Gun Maverick.
You've seen that one. Yeah, that's a surprising. Other nominations, David, include Whale, Tar, Elvis, The Fabelmans, and Everything Everywhere All at Once. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh.
I missed that one. But you know what's interesting is for Best Picture, a lot of times in the past you wouldn't see like
a lot of
blockbusters, like those big box office hits get nominated.
Yeah.
But Maverick, Top Gun Maverick, and Avatar both
big office hits, and Black Panther, Wakanda Forever is also another.
But all three of those.
Lesser known films like Triangle of Sadness, All Quiet on the Western Front, Women Talking, and The Banshees of Inisherin. I think I'm saying that right. Inisherin. Wow. I've never heard of those films, but they've also been nominated for Best Picture as well. So, I think that's what's great. You typically have more independent films that have been nominated. At times, it's usually those independent films that take home the gold trophy, but we are seeing a little bit more of those mainstream films. I mean, I know a lot of us have seen Avatar. Have you seen Avatar?
I have not seen Avatar.
What? Got to get you to watch Avatar, but you have seen Top Gun Maverick.
I did see Top Gun Maverick.
What about Elvis?
I have not seen Elvis, although I would like to see Elvis. That was one thing that Lisa Marie, she pretty much endorsed that movie.
Yeah.
So
well, I hadn't seen that yet either.
What was there was an awards ceremony that she attended like a couple of days before she passed away?
Yes, so. I mean, and I know that it's also received a few awards at the Golden Globes, and so it's fantastic. I mean, but usually there's that time where you get together with your friends or your family, and it's usually around this time for me. I like to just get together and watch these films that have been nominated, because sometimes you may miss out on it, but that's, I think, maybe the great thing about the Oscars is these list of films that you can just get together and watch.
You are a big movie buff, aren't you?
A little bit.
Medium movie buff?
Medium movie buff.
I was looking to see what, I did not catch the date.
So Cate Blanchett, do you like Cate Blanchett? She's a phenomenal actress in Tar. I have to see that one. And I definitely want to see The Fabelmans, which is Steven Spielberg's life, so to speak, growing up. Right. So he was very involved in that. So
he did a movie about him growing up making movies.
Yeah.
So
well, that sounds like a good movie.
I'd
watch it. Hey, Steven Spielberg.
I like that. So,
lots to catch up on.
Autobiography right there.
There you go.
So I was looking at when the Oscars.
I think sometime in March 12th.
Is it March 12th?
I believe so. I missed it today, so we've been busy with the roads. But things are dwindling down for me. So I'm gonna see you back here tomorrow, David.
All right, you be here?
I'll be here.
All right. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 11 a.m. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you at the noon show as well.